What's up YouTube, Gemini Johnny back again with another compilation of some of the wildest TikTok conspiracy theories I can find. It's been a while and this is going to be a special edition because it is time. We have to do a UAP update, UFOs, aliens, whatever you want to call them. It's time for an update. I did my last video about a year ago and there's been a lot of news since then. So I've got a handful of videos that we're going to take a look at, and then just like last time, I've got another alleged whistleblower account who's bringing their story to the internet, and I'll leave it up to you to be the judge. Now, one more quick thing before we jump into the videos. Longtime viewers of this channel know that I don't really do product placements or ad reads or anything like that. The primary reason for that is because most of the stuff that the people out there want to sell you is crap, and I can't in good conscience try to sell you guys stuff that I wouldn't stand behind. But I have also always maintained that if I was able to work out a good deal with a brand that I can feel good about standing behind, then I would. Such is the case with today's sponsor. I don't know that I've ever posted a video on YouTube without having a cup of coffee in hand, and it turns my teeth brown. I'll be honest, I use a teeth whitener. If you've ever wondered how I keep these pearly whites, so check out the Snow Teeth Whitening System. They've still got their Cyber Monday deals going on. Use the link in the description below, and if you buy anything, they do give me a kickback. Once again, this is a product I do genuinely use. Probably not enough, or my teeth would be whiter, but... So go to trysnow.com/Gemini if you want to help support the channel. Alright, all the business crap's out of the way. So now let's get into the juicy stuff. What you guys came for. UFO videos. Now without further ado, let's jump right in. Alright, so we're gonna start with the basics. I've been hearing, and I've mentioned it on this channel, but everybody keeps talking about 2027. Something big is supposed to happen in 2027. This is Ross Coldheart. He's a UFO researcher and reporter, and he apparently has also been hearing 2027.
Everybody's telling me we're on borrowed time. There's certainly something going to happen in 2027, and I don't know what it is. Some people say it's a pole reversal. Some people say it's an asteroid hitting the planet. Some people say it's AI reaching quantum, and then all of a sudden we lose the capacity to have control of our own computer systems.
That was Y2K all over again.
They're urging me to be urgent. They're saying to me, people, they have a right to know this. And I'm going, well, what are we talking about? And I feel like shaking these people and saying, for God's sake, just bloody tell me. And they are all constrained by their national security oaths. And this is why the President Trump, has a unique ability to literally flick a switch and force this to be revealed.
It's interesting he said that at the end, because I've been hearing over literally just last night and yesterday afternoon that there's talks going around DC that apparently Trump is weighing the option of making a grand announcement about all of this stuff. Whether that comes to fruition or not will remain to be seen. But one thing I know for sure, he won't do anything that doesn't suit him politically. So yeah, interesting. Once again, you know, there's a few things in here about 2027. It's all about 2027 because that's what everybody's talking about, actually. And the whistleblower account that we're going to get to at the end of this video also talks about that, and it explains. It's a supposed explanation for what's going to happen in 2027, and we will get to that, but. Let's watch a few videos first. And this one is former CIA officer John Ramirez on UFOs and alleges something big will happen in 2027.
We're kind of preparing the U.S. population, at least, and by extension, the world population, into that reality that there is a presence here, and that we need to explain this presence. Because if they show up and we continue to do what we did before in previous decades, and they show up, there will be mass panic. But if you understand that these are real, and we have 5 years from 2022, or maybe now 4 years, if they come in 2027, for the U.S. government to prepare the people about what is up there. And in many ways, I think the word got out within the government that they're showing up in 2027.
It's showing up in 2027.
Be prepared, and if not, there's going to be a lot of explaining to do. And so I think that dialogue has happened within inside the government, in certain areas inside the government, that we need to prepare. And that's why in 2017, that set a clock of 10 years. And why Lou Elizondo earlier in this year said, just find a hobby for 5 years. And, it'll all be out in 5 years. And he said that this year. So that was 2027. Huh. And I would say I've heard 2027 in a kind of an official capacity I can't reveal. So I think I would say that people in the government are aware of something happening, and that there's limited time, a few more years to prepare the people, and that's what's ramping up this acceleration from the previous 7 decades of not even acknowledging
7
it to
decades.
now we are acknowledging it at a faster and faster pace.
All right. So who is he talking about? Who is out there? Who's coming in 2027? Who are these whatevers that everyone keeps referencing? We're going to get to that. But a few theories first. Okay, so this guy, I don't know if I've ever actually featured him on my channel because, I don't know what to think about people like this. So this is Daryl Anka, or Anka? I don't know I don't actually know how you say that. But he is an alleged alien contactee. Telepathically contactee. I don't know how the correct phrasing for that. And from what I understand, Bashar is the alien who contacts him and is trying to speak to humanity through him, allegedly. Like I said, who knows? You guys know me. I don't take a real strong stance on any of the woo-woo stuff because none of us know anything. But with that kind of territory comes a lot of people that can, I don't know, be charlatans and grifters because nobody can prove them wrong because nobody knows. You can't, whatever. Point being, this guy's an alleged contactee, and due to the nature of what's going on, let's see what he has to say,
The last prediction he has made, somewhere around the end of 2026 or the beginning of 2027, there will be some sort of a UFO event that will let humanity know we are not alone. Now, he won't say what that is, but he's basically saying...
just so we're all on the same page, Daryl here is saying he, as in Bashar, is telling him that we're not on the same page, or, whatever. So he's translating the message to us from Bashar.
Basically saying, this will be the true beginning of open contact, where you now have to consider the reality that there are others in the cosmos other than yourself.
I'm reading a lot of stuff that says, full contact.
Oh, and this is, what's his name? Russell Crowe. Audio clip of Russell Crowe talking about this stuff.
Reading a lot of stuff that says, full contact in 2027. And there's all these people that used to work for NASA or all these
here you go. Here's this video.
Out there talking
I have that
about
same jacket.
Our history as a species is really simply a series of genetic experiments to get us to where we are now.
The word got out within the government that they're showing up in 2027, and we better be prepared. And if not, there's going to be a lot of explaining to do.
SETI will find alien by 2027. An astronomer with the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence Institute says new technologies will help locate an extraterrestrial in the next 25 years. 2027 is a lot freaking sooner than 25 years. I just want to point that out. I don't know if you guys realize this, but 2026 is in like 3.5 weeks, basically. And we'll get to the stuff. But if this is all... If the alleged whistleblower is even halfway correct, this stuff is like nothing matters anymore until this all happens, basically. But we'll get to it. All right, let's go to the next video.
So
I think this is more Bashar stuff, but
so 2027 is supposed to be the year where we start to have contact with alien beings. One of those people who are definitely advertising that is Daryl Anka's Bashar. Now, if you're not familiar with Bashar,
she probably explains it way better than I did.
Man channels this alien entity called Bashar, and through Bashar, he gets a lot of information and stuff. So Bashar basically tells everybody that 2027 things are going to start heating up with open contact. In fact, this is what Daryl Anka has to say about what Bashar has said about 2027.
Disclosure will happen. I don't know that they will do a mass landing. I think at first, like I said, it'll be in phases. First, they might start showing us their ships more closely so that they'll be literally on the 11 o'clock news. Like, this is undeniable. Look, here's a ship. This has now been photographed clearly. They're here. They will maybe show themselves for extended periods of time, hovering over an area or over the ocean or something where they're non-threatening, but we have no way of denying that that's there. And I think eventually then it will be something along the line of some official press conference or something like that, where it's like, okay, this is what's been happening. Disclosure will happen. Here's the information. And at the end of the information, here is an ET. And they will start talking to us and start presenting their point of view as to what's happening here to get us used to it. So again, I think they will realize they have to do it in phases that allow us time to acclimate, time to absorb what's being said, and time to absorb the understanding that they've been here all this time and what they've been doing.
Now, do I think in 2027 we're going to have this open contact kind of stuff? I don't know. There's a few scientists that have come forward and individuals who say they're privy to classified information have stated 2027 to be a year that is going to be interesting with open contact. I don't know. You know, we're used to a lot of talking and maybe not so much action. But I will say, you know, a lot has opened up in 2025. Well, actually, probably in the last 5 years, a lot has opened up in the realm of disclosure. A lot of you are like, oh, well, you know, when are we going to start saying? We've seen a lot. Like, there's a lot. I mean, with this new documentary, Age of Disclosure, you know, if you're not really, if you're kind of new to the alien world and want some information, it's a great documentary for that.
That's fair.
Those who already kind of have been diving into it for a few years, not a whole lot of new stuff, but still interesting. It was well done. And so I don't know, 2027, what do you think? Do you think 2027 will be a year that we finally get to meet a real alien or see some real good pictures that are not AI of UFOs? I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see. What do you think?
I think we'll probably, especially if that whistleblower account that's coming up, if that's true at all, I don't know if we're going to be meeting any aliens, at least for a while. Sounds like we'll get to it. All right, so this one is a clip of Chris Bledsoe, who believes that it's Jesus himself coming back sometime next year or early 2027. Now, if you don't remember Chris Bledsoe, he's been on the show in the past. He's also a UFO researcher. I believe he was an experiencer. I think he saw a UFO at one point in his early life. But he also was on like Ancient Aliens, and I think he was on Skinwalker Ranch. So, you know, he's definitely made some money off of this space. Let's say that. Whether that's a good or a bad thing, I'll let you be the judge. But, you know, like it or not, he is somebody in this space. So let's see what he has to say. I mean, and look, hey, if Jesus is coming back, I would like to know. So
Jesus coming back in 2026? I know you already want to put something in the comments. Hold on 1 second.
Exact alignment will happen in 2026 at Easter. What will happen? That the Star Regulus would be on the horizon in front of the Sphinx. At that moment, there'd be a new knowledge in Easter of 2026. Now you hear it all over TV. 2026, that's the big day.
So this story is actually insane because this guy did an interview with Sean Ryan. I think it was like 6 months ago, something crazy long. And it kept getting pushed out and pushed out and pushed out to the point where his family came out. This guy's family came out and said that, you know, Sean wasn't going to want to post it. That Sean Ryan did not want to be attached to the story. So he wasn't going to post it. Months go by, then finally Sean Ryan comes out and posts it because, you know, all people saying post the video. So he finally posted it, and it happens to be this video about this guy saying Jesus is going to be here in 2026. I'll give you my thoughts on that in 1 second, because first we have a lot of things to go over. Did you know 2026 and 2027 is the year that everything comes together? Because regardless of your eschatology views, those dates fit both timelines. Come right back to this because it's big. 1776 was the year that America was founded, right? But not just America, something else happened at the same exact time. These guys right here pop up at the same exact time, 1776. Go ahead and pause it and read. And it gets downright crazy because the founder of this whole thing worked for that religious figure in Rome. Specifically, he worked with a pope that wasn't the white pope. And the craziest thing, in 1776, the manuscript or the book set of Rome's fall was released. At the same time, you know what America really is? We are Rome, but who rules us? This video right here for an extraordinary amount of information. Anyway, 1776, the start of Rome again, to 2026, 2027 is, you get it, 250 years. Some may call that a little season. A season of 1,000. If you don't get that part, it's okay. One day you will.
he's talking about the little season that supposedly the devil comes back and rules the earth. I'm sorry to spoil the fun. I hate when people do that. If you don't get it, you'll get it someday. Shut up.
And now, as I showed you in times past, both the Geneva 1560 and the 1611 King James Version both give dates from Adam until its own creation. And when you add our years into it, 2026, 2027 equals the 7th millennia. And this is on the main timeline. Again, on the 7th day he rested, year 6,000 to 7,000, the 7th millennia. It's insane how both timelines fit into itself. And of course, we have all the blood moons this year and the planetary alignment
I don't know, man.
happening. And
Let me
of course,
finish.
I don't have to tell you guys all the stuff that we see going on right now. This included. There's so many of me. And of course, we were talking about him earlier. When his whole shindig got disbanded, the Red Shields came together and they created this up here. I see no difference.
This one, sorry, it's cut off, but it's talking about the Supreme Council of the Scottish Rite.
This, you guys. Further, look at one of their independent crests. Can you tell what lineage they believe they come from? Or what Revelations 2 actually says that they are? And 3. Now, do I believe that Jesus will come in 2026, 2027? First, let me tell you, I am not God. Second, I don't believe so, but I believe something huge will take place. I think we're getting ready to see that right now as we speak. And finally, I'll let you listen to this a little bit more.
Star, well, the alignment she told me about, that the Star Regulus would be on the horizon in front of the Sphinx. At that moment, there'd be a new knowledge. Well, I had no idea if this was even possible, but these astronomers running through the machines, and it comes out that that star is going to come up on the horizon in Easter of 2026. And from that point forward, they started remote viewing the state.
You see, and why remote viewing to take a look at this certain time period?
Government did. And now you hear it all over TV. 2026, that's the big day. 2027, that year, something's going to happen. Armageddon, you hear it all over. You hear it on TV. If you study, like, I've heard it even, well, I won't say names, but please do. Well, Lou Elizondo, right? Lou's mentioned that day. A lot of people have. Easter 2026. So the year 2026. I gave him a specific time. And it was with Robert Grant that I told him about this alignment and all. And he's like, oh my God.
You did hear that, right? All the alien community are all coming together and saying the same exact year? Remember how I was saying, we shouldn't
That's the weird part.
because they got something going on? But what do I know?
So okay, first of all, let me say, this guy, this creator is Real Moon Henry on TikTok. He's cool. We've seen him before. I like his stuff because he questions things in a way that I like, but he does it through like a very Anglican lens. Like he's wearing a shirt with a cross on it in his, content. His whole basis is like conspiracy theories for Christians. Which, whatever, it's cool. I like that people are questioning things. I don't care. I find it strange that you stop at your religion, but whatever. As I was playing, I think Chris Bledsoe, and correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but I believe something he said in there about like, she's telling me, I think he's also somebody who supposedly gets communications from an alien. So, take everything that these people say with a grain of salt, okay? Like, these people are being paid to get on podcasts, being paid to do TV shows. And look, hey, we all got to make money. I hope to get a TV show someday. I would love if they would come and be like, hey, GJ, you want to do a TV show? Yeah, absolutely. Give me 6 figures, please. But it does, when you have a TV show to sell and ads to plop into ad spots to sell, people are going to make some what's the word I'm looking for? People are going to use some creative liberties to narrate the truth. That being said, like I said, Chris Bledsoe is a very well-known person in the UFO community. Like, he does all these TV shows and stuff. So take it with a grain of salt, But who am I to say that he's lying? I don't know. He could be. Maybe the aliens are telepathically giving some humans, messages to pass along to humanity. I don't know why they wouldn't use me. I have almost 6,000 subscribers on YouTube. But yeah, so, I don't know. Is Jesus coming back in 2027? Probably not. I feel like they do this every 10 years or something, say that Jesus is coming back. Truthfully, I think Jesus came back a long time ago, and that's done and gone. But whatever, I digress. All right, back to the UFO stuff. And you guys may remember this. This is Jeremy Corbell, and it was like an interview or a documentary or something from like a year ago where he said there was a big lie coming. He's been asked about many times, and we've got a couple of videos where he talks about that too.
Your government now wants you to know one truth, and that truth is that UFOs are real. They've already told you. Sometimes when you want somebody to know a truth, it's so you can set them up to believe a lie, and that's coming. I have zero doubt that lie is coming.
What is the lie?
Specifically, you want me to say it right now, for real? Real? On camera? To be put in the show?
Yes.
Okay. Problem with that. If we tell the lie before it's told, they can adapt. That wouldn't be wise. I'll tell you privately, but I would really think about if you want to put this in your show. For real. That's a real thing, I'm telling you. So will you think about it before putting it in your show? Okay. So UFOs are real, and they've been here a long time, and that's the truth. But the lie is coming. All indications, like all of them, is that lie is going to be that there is a craft slowly making its way to us here on Earth. And that is the lie they're going to want you to believe. It's nuanced, how they explain that, the nature of that threat. But that 100% is the lie you are going to be told. You even got a date. People have been whispering a date for a long time now. I know where that lie comes from. I know specifically what document from the 70s initiated the idea of that lie. A classified document. That is the lie you will be told. You're going to be told that there is a craft on its way to Earth. That's the lie. Maybe I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I sent you 2 texts today with a year. Not from me. Nope. I'm not going to propagate that lie. I'm not going to be part of it. Not going to
2027 again.
Everybody knows. Just start paying attention. And they'll change the date, especially if they see this. Things will change. Because maybe I'm trustworthy. Maybe I'm worthy of your trust. Maybe I've told you the truth the whole way through it. Now you can verify it. If that's the case, then I'm fucking dangerous. You've been told the truth about UFOs for a long time now. It's been pretty orchestrated. It's been pretty clear. And it's using people that are telling the truth and want to tell the truth. Ultimately, they want you to know something. They want you to know UFOs are real. Thank God we're finally there. We're all there now. They want you to know the truth. But why they want you to know that truth now? Hope I'm wrong, but it's terrifying. Think about it. Maybe it's good to get ahead of it. Call it out now before they do it. I'll be called crazy. That's okay.
Maximum drama. All right, yeah, obviously, okay. I don't feature Jeremy Corbell on this channel a lot because a lot of his stuff is like that, where he just kind of seems like he's reading a dramatic monologue more than he's trying to uncover the truth about something. But I do recall this from like over a year ago, him doing whatever this documentary was, UAP Uncovered probably is what it's called, and him talking about this, and there being this, oh, there's this big lie that there's going to be this slow ship coming to Earth. And then the 3i Atlas stuff all happened, and they were talking about this strange supposed comet, or maybe an alien probe, who knows? And then just everybody stopped talking about it. That was weird. Avi Loeb was going on every podcast he could get his hands on and talking about it's an alien mothership. And then it came around the other side of the sun. And then, do you guys even know what I'm talking about? All right, 3i Atlas was this comet that came in. I'm sure you guys heard about it. If not, just go Google it. I don't want to waste time on it. It's just it's a comet, basically, is what it seems like. But when he the whole time that was in the news, I was thinking about this interview that he did and how he talked about how there's gonna be a lie coming where this ship is supposedly. So obviously, this video is from. I mean that documentary or whatever that was is from like over a year ago, before 3i Atlas was a thing, before this whole new wave of UAP stuff was a thing, and he's been asked about it a few times since then.
Everybody's asking what my opinion is on the 3i Atlas, object coming to Earth. Now, I'm not an astronomer. I'm not a scientist, but why they're asking me is because I made a statement back in January saying that, hey, there's a lie coming. And of course, it was part of a show, and it was just but if you watch the whole show, you kind of understand what's going on. And I've made a ton of statements about why I would say something like that. I'm not hiding and just saying it. I've explained to people why multiple times, but people are asking about that. Now, I don't know anything about that particular comment. I read the same stuff as everybody else. The trend I'm realizing, our friend in the disclosure movement, Avi Loeb, he talks about these unique characteristics, and he's not wrong about that, but it is a consensus of one. I don't see a bunch of other astrophysicists and people working on this stuff really echoing that same sentiment. I do love his open-mindedness, and he knows far better than me, and he's, investigating the unexplained, not explaining the uninvestigated. So I've got a lot of happiness and joy for the way that he's looking at this problem set. But I will stand firm in that I said in January, and I actually said it earlier, but it was, I think it was played in January, that there was something coming, that people were going to try to convince the public at large that there was a spacecraft slowly moving to Earth. And that didn't come out of thin air. That wasn't just something I made up before I sat down. That came from years of people trying to impose upon me something to use my mouth, that there was this threat coming, that there's a 1970s document that I believe to be classified for sure. And, I don't have the ability to get that out to people, but it postulated this. So there were so many warning signs that this was going to happen. I finally said the quiet part out loud. Intelligence agents from multiple agencies durationally over years would call me and slowly edge at me with this theory and this idea to try to get me to say it. And it felt so manipulative, I had to call it out. So that is specifically why I said it, because I felt that pressure over time. I know you've been told, oh, there are these hints of big things coming. Well, if it is, fucking say it. If it is, then you have a duty to say it. But no one's standing up and raising their hand. So I do think it's absolute nonsense. I think that you're going to see, a comet that's, maybe unique by material pass by the Earth and life goes on. I'm pretty high confidence that that's what's going to happen. But again, I don't know. I'm not an astronomer or anything. I just know what intelligence agencies have kind of pushed on me.
Well, he was right. It passed by, and then everybody just kind of forgot about it. So, yeah, good call there, Jeremy. But this video is actually a pretty good example of why I don't usually feature him on my channel, because he talks in circles a lot, doesn't really answer the questions that people ask him, and he kind of just like bounces. And I get he's probably privy to like classified information that he's not allowed to talk about and all that. But don't set yourself up as being like one of the truth seekers and answer finders of a very unknown and unanswerable question. Or maybe it's not unanswerable, but unanswered question. To me, it's like, if you know something, say what you know. Like, he just said that. Like, bro, take your own advice.
There is an undercurrent of intelligence agency individuals trying to, quote, shape the emerging UAP narrative, who have been using this idea of a craft coming to Earth to employ individuals to harness their mics, their microphones, and their voices and their commitment. And that's what I was warning people about. That was nonsense. That is a re-emerging narrative that will continue to come. So this might be, in a way, this might be a sort of symptom of what I was warning people about. But it's not directly what I was saying. I mean, this thing's going to come by Earth the closest, I think, November 16th or something. I don't know for sure, but it's not 2027. And also, by the way, when I said, I never actually said the words in the show, 2027. There was a range that people were kind of spreading within media and UFO industry, and that was between 2027 and 2036. Leave yourself a big ass window if you're telling lies to people. That's what you do. So, look, if I'm wrong, we're going to be invaded, and it doesn't matter anyway. However, I just want to be really clear, which is that there is this undercurrent from intelligence agencies, and I absolutely wanted to warn people that I thought it was bullshit. I still think it's bullshit, and I think it's a way to harness people's attention, and I think it's diabolical.
So basically, Jeremy Corbell thinks that there's going to be a false flag, basically, of like an alien invasion of some sort that the governments are going to use to then, I don't know, get more money for weaponry and stuff. Now, once again, the alleged whistleblower does kind of touch on all of this, so we'll get to it. We're almost there. A couple more videos. This one is from September, but this was in one of the UAP hearings. I believe that's Avi Luna, what's her name? It's Luna, I forget her first name.
To replay that video that Burleson had played earlier, I want to ask every witness here, specifically ones that have sensor training or have been able to recognize some of this movement real quick. So if you guys can please roll that real quick.
Oh, this video is crazy. I don't think we ever featured this. So they're tracking something that they don't, it's an unidentified aerial phenomena, right? And they don't know what it is, but they've got a military drone that's tracking it. And you're going to see it come in from like over this direction. It gets hit by what they later describe as a Hellfire missile, and it splits it. Watch, boom. And it split that Hellfire missile in two. And that thing like kind of teetered off course a little bit, but then corrects itself.
Okay, while this is still rolling, Mr. Nusatelli, real quick, yes or no answers. Are you aware of anything in the government, United States government arsenal that can split a Hellfire missile like this?
No.
And do whatever blob thing it did and then keep going? Nothing?
Nothing.
All right, how about you, Chief Wiggins?
Nothing to my knowledge, ma'am.
Okay, and how about you, Mr. Borland?
I prefer to answer that in a skiff.
Okay, does this video scare you guys? Yes or no?
Yes.
Wiggins?
Yes.
Nat?
I had a different reaction. I was really happy that it got out. Thanks for providing
Curiosity killed the cat. All right, Mr. Borland?
Yes.
I'll just let that play in the background a little bit, but what? There's something flying in the air that can split a Hellfire missile? Also, that means that somebody that has a Hellfire missile shot at a thing flying in the air. But it means our military is out there fighting with these things. All right, one more video, and this is about the next 72 hours thing, and this was posted 6 hours ago. So like, and I'm filming this on Tuesday. So at some point, at the time you're watching this, at some point, if it hasn't happened earlier today, it'll happen in the next 48 hours, allegedly. But, cool thing about things with timestamps is, eventually they come to fruition.
72 hours. Something big is happening, and you need to hear this. Dr. Stephen Greer just launched a brand new podcast today on January 15th, and trust me, the timing is no coincidence. He revealed that within the next 72 hours or so, we're about to see a massive wave of UFO and UAP disclosures. Think about it. Why the urgency? Why now? What's about to drop in the next 3 days that could change the way we see the world? If you're as curious as I am, or even just as skeptical.
All right, well, never mind on this one, because this was, as he said, this was January 15th, 2025. Stephen Greer started the new podcast and said something would happen in the next 72 hours. I'm going to go ahead and take a wild guess that nothing happened. I thought this was new. I didn't realize that this was an upload. This is somebody reposting this 6 hours ago, as if it's like a new thing. But if you're going to do that, don't, like, take out the, where he dated it in there. I don't know. But there you have it, folks. That is another compilation of some of the wildest TikTok conspiracy theories I can find. We did it. We done it. We're doing it some more. I am probably going to do the whistleblower testimony as its own video, so keep an eye out for part 2. I'll have that posted later this week, because I just recorded that, and it took forever, and I didn't realize how long it was going to be, so yeah. Go check out my Patreon. It's at the link in the description below. Also, check out Snow Teeth Whitening. If you need some teeth whitener, try snow.com/Gemini. It supports me, and I appreciate it. If not, thanks for watching the video. Give me a thumbs up. Also, if you want to hit that hype button, I still don't really know what it does, but it's supposed to be good, so appreciate it. And that's all I got. Oh no, I have new stuff in the store too. I forgot. Well, kind of new. It's not really new anymore, but I've still been saying it's new, so I'm gonna still call it new. There's new stuff in the merch store. Go check it out. All the links in the description. You guys know how this works. It's YouTube. So thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. I love you. So until next time, seek the truth.